Hey y'all, welcome back to Hardcastle Homestead, where we are growing things and freshly showered, which is awesome. One of those moments, being single mom, sometimes showering, as simple as it may sound, is one of the hardest things to remember to do. So you're getting me wet hair because I have a massive to-do list today, but I'm excited to take you guys with me. We're going very rogue today on my phone. We're going to pretty much go over what's in my May garden. I've been waiting since May 1st to make this video, but I think it's time to do it. So, we are in Southwest Missouri, and I have been growing since right after college, so about 17, 18 years. And it all started with container gardenings on balconies of apartments, container gardening, and some basic in-ground gardening with rental home properties. My first property, I had, I think, 12 or 14 raised beds, both of wood and metal corrugated, just from Amazon. And after a separation at the end of 2024, March of 2025, I bought my new property, which is on a third of an acre. And we as in I do have a 4-year-old. She helps where she can, which I love. But myself and sometimes my parents, who are awesome, have been slowly getting this property closer and closer to a homestead level and not necessarily a traditional American backyard. So I'm going to take you guys along in my backyard to show you what we've been doing. So here we go. Hey buddy, you say hi? Yeah, you good boy. So this is the view when we walk out of the house. I have technically 6 green stalks, but on a budget this year, so I only was able to fill 3 right now. This one has a few different varieties of both heirloom and hybrid strawberries in it, and we've already been snacking on that. We've got some nasturtiums growing, some lettuce, several different varieties, and looks like my first baby bean came out because we're going to do green beans in the open spots where I've already harvested some lettuce. And then cute little strawberries. We do have mostly June bearing type of varieties with the strawberries. So some all-stars, seascapes, sparkle, quinault. And then over here, I'm trying this one from a local nursery. I've never heard of it. They've never heard of it. So if you have had success with this strawberry, please let me know. We do have our first berries coming on though, so that's exciting. And then we start taking our walk. So last year, we had structure from those beds all the way to those green beds, and the rest was grass and grass. This year we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry if you're getting dizzy. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 fruit trees that got planted, as well as several rose bushes. Working on a budget to get this filled in, but eventually it will be white rock. And we'll have mulch on the opposite side. And the goal with this arbor was to do a rose trellis with flowers. This is the makeshift kiddie pool. Keep my daughter entertained while I'm in the garden. And here's the view from out in the garden to the back door. When I bought this house, my dream was when I walk through those doors or look out my kitchen, I have a straight view down to my secret garden type of growing with a greenhouse right in the middle of a garden. And then we're going to start in here. So I'm going to zoom it out a little bit for better views. So we've got the spring blush. They're gorgeous. They have like a pinkish purple tone. Let's see. That's a better one with the sun. It's so pretty. And they're extra sweet. So I've got them here and here. And it's about time to start my squash as well. We are 6B, sometimes zone 7A. That's what some say. But we like teeter right on that line. We did start some herbs and some zinnias. So we got dills and basils. We've got nasturtium going. We've got another baby that actually survived. He survived the frost. And then this is my Keene organic garlic that I have. On this side, I did the soft necks. So there's no like scape growing out. And all my irises that I transplanted from the other farm, they have not gone in the ground yet. They're just sitting in my 10 by 20 trays. I did take the blueberries from the other property as well. So these are 3-year-old blueberries. We've got dahlias by the swing set. And I'm ready to do some zinnias with it as well. You'll see a random little stinker following me around. He's my garden kitty. This bed, last year I did tomatoes in these. And I regretted so many choices on that level. So this year, it's going to be mostly dahlias and zinnias and cutting flowers for my table to feel fresh. Because I am doing a very large scale growing level now. We've got more flowers in this bed, but on top of the flowers, because we've got snapdragons, dahlias, I think I see either a Rebecca or a Echinacea coming up on this side. But I also planted some summer squash here. And then back behind, this is showing the power of compost. I found these 2 beds super cheap on JustBid because the metal was slightly warped, as well as this guy, which normally would be very expensive. I think I got them for 20 bucks on JustBid because the metal once again was warped. So I took a hammer, bent it back, and now I have 3 really cheap beds, which is awesome. But I didn't have the money to get more really good compost put in here, so I threw all of my summer from 2025 browns in here, and clearly from that I'm getting sunflowers coming out. I did throw in some sweet potatoes from the store just to help with foliage and recovery, and some random tomatoes. Lots of sunflowers though. This guy's a volunteer, so I'm letting him go. I got these black raspberries from a friend's farm. She let me come out and dig them up. And so they're going to be separated from the herd in this back bed behind the greenhouse. They are thorned. I've got cute rose, I can't remember the rose variety. But we will see how pretty she is soon enough because you can see she's starting to bud out. We've got cooking oregano down here, which we'll use as a cover crop for this bed. And then on the other side, we have thyme right there. And then I had the lovely moment. It's not a weed. I did plant seeds here. I don't remember what I planted though, but I did plant seeds here. So we'll see. I also did a line of short sunflowers right here. That's another volunteer sunflower. In this bed, it's where I've been putting my grass clippings. And yes, I've been watering it. No, there's no seeds in my grass clippings, but I had sweet potatoes in this bed, and it's a free mulch. So you can see the first of the sweet potatoes coming up there. And then I did plant I had one extra dahlia, so I planted her here. And I just sprinkled a bunch of wildflower seeds in here. and 1 or 2 squash as well. What's really impressive, I will get to this side soon. I really want to show you guys this though. Random garden cat again. So on this side, similar method. There's dahlias, rosemary, and then for this side, I had old carrot seeds. So I took like 6 packets and just sprinkled it all throughout here. And I actually do have carrots coming up now, which is awesome. Because carrots, onions, corn really do lose their germination very fast. So this bed was kind of same method. We've got lavender. Hey, buddy. You good boy. Yeah. Everyone loves a garden kitty. Yeah. He's such a good boy. So I just planted this guy out. Oop. And, ooh, look, they're starting to come. So we've got fresh seeds in this guy. He should be looking beautiful. But this is actually my daughter's green stalk that she will be in charge of, and I will help with the top part. But she gets pink. We've got another pink one that we need soil for. You can see the green one sitting there I need soil for. The goal is to get that in the next month. I do want to fill all my green stalks. There's the other one. So there's the 3 not filled. On this side, these are new blueberries. I got them from Lowe's. This guy, I've never grown or heard of this variety because I'm not a berry kind of gardener, but his blueberry production is crazy. So I'm excited to see how the flavor is and see how I like it. The reason why I do all my blueberries in these round beds, I do take a good soil mix, and then I do a lasagna style with that and pine bark shavings for acidity, because blueberries really do like acidity. So they like between, I like to think 4.5 to 5. Some people go to 5.5 depending on variety, but I am excited. These don't have many berries on them. It's their first year with me, so we'll see what next year looks like for these two. But we also, some of them are actually starting to give me babies now, so that's hopeful. And I see some buds on some of them. I got a bunch of free trees, and I said, you know what, let's just pot them up and see what happens. And if they actually sprout and do well, which some of them are, I don't like that they're down by the root, because when that happens, it usually means it's not going to be a productive tree. But I do have 2 out of these freebies that are showing good signs, so I'll take it. Over here, you guys are probably going to get dizzy from all my spinning around. I'm just so excited to share my garden. This is more of the Keene organic garlic. I had 3 varieties that I went with. I do not remember the varieties off the top of my head, but this was the hardneck side. So what you can see here is with hardnecks, you have scapes. So what I'm going to be doing this week at some point, garden kitty, is going through right here, cutting the scape. And by cutting the scape and then harvesting, usually like 3 to 4 weeks later, what it's doing is all of this greenery is capturing more energy and putting it down into the bulb because it's not trying to flower. So it's very important to cut your scapes. Is it going to ruin your garlic if you don't? No, you're just not going to have as big of a garlic head. He's so lovely today. Is it because you know you're on camera? Huh? And within this bed, so I will be harvesting in about 3 to 4 weeks. So I will have an entire garden bed open. So the point of the next round of the garden bed is planting very short-term summer crops that will turn over fast. And so it'll probably be summer squash for me, honestly, because about that point, I'm assuming squash bugs will take on the stuff I've planted already. And so I'll move locations. but also herbs and nasturtium will be going in this bed. So I've already planted the nasturtium. And we have got volunteer zinnias because I had zinnias in here last year. I think candy cane stripe was in here. And more of the sugar snap peas. I do love the spring blush. It's pretty much the only one I will eat now. And I just love how pretty their flower is. That color is just gorgeous. So here and over there, kind of doing that uniform without uniform effect, I have potatoes. So in this bed, I just did the regular red potato, and then I have broccoli. You can see it's starting to go to flower though. It bolted very fast, like this guy has nothing yet. I do love that I interplanted my lettuce with them though, because it's gonna help prevent my lettuce from bolting. I've already got my next drum for summer planted in here with purple tomatillos and more purple broccoli. Onions are outlining these beds, and then I have gladiolas for the backside. But one thing I did on this side, similar to the broccoli method, is to not waste the space that's growing between the potatoes. You can see here, I have my heads of romaine, my pablos, my merlots, these gorgeous lettuces. Baxter, cats, man. You're a pretty boy, aren't you? You're a happy, pretty garden kitty. So here's one of the ones I'm excited for. This is a Menard's vine, but it's not a climber. It's like a cut flower variety. So, but isn't he fabulous? So the goal, you can kind of see where the line is here with my shadow, is to create a nice border with wood chips to do the outline, and it'll follow the fruit trees, which this is a pink lady. I think actually all of these are pink ladies on this row right here. And then just follow all the way through and up, because I am honestly tired of mowing around the trees. Started the process over here. That tree's dead. I'll have to replace him. It was a bare root. So with trees though, especially fruit trees, you're wasting your energy with your tree when these little buds come out. So once they come out, you will want, especially down here, because here's where the rootstock is. This is the scion cut. I use a brick to help with its support. But you do not want anything coming off of this root, because the rootstock is what the original tree is. The scion's the tree and the fruit that you want. So, gonna let these guys get established, and then hopefully in the next year or two, I'll have more. Baxter, it's not even catnip. I think that's beets. Okay, hey, you need to get out. Come on. Come on. Come on. I do have to be a little bit gentle with him. He had an incident with a friend's dog. So he had to have hip surgery at the beginning of the year. And you can see his hair still starting to come back and grow there, but he is a healthy, happy boy. Come on. So yeah, I have a lot of lettuce to eat. Mother trucker. Because in between these rows, more romaine. If it gets really bad before it bolts, I will probably try and do the initiative of selling it to friends and family. Okay. So out here, This all was grass last year. We'll start in the back though. So back here, look how pretty these are. This is the Bob Gordon variety of elderberries. And all of these little buds will be flowers. And then the flowers will produce fruit. And then we will make our own medicinals with elderberry flower this year. And I have a great friend who has bees already. So I will be purchasing her local honey. She's about 30 miles away from me. I'm repurposing a lot of stuff that was left around here. It's just easier that way than buying new. Like the nice border there is 4x4s that we pulled off of up there with an ugly deck. These little mounds are 3 varieties of like a gourd pumpkin. One's a sweet, actually, I think I left the tags. So this one is the Jarradale. It's a green pumpkin, even though it says squash. So Jarradale. This was a sugar pie pumpkin, or is a sugar pie pumpkin. And then this would be the sweet dumpling. It's like a white and green speckled variety. Very cute. This is Lauren's fine ingenuity. We have 44 tomato plants, 17 varieties. They just got their first haircut the other day. But most of the time my tomatoes will get anywhere from 9 to 14 feet tall. So I've got 8-foot T-posts. I've used dog fencing that I've had for several years down these rows. And this is my first time ever growing tomatoes in ground. So I basically did a, sorry about that. I basically did a cross cut and then pulled it back, dug the soil as deep as I could, put good worm castings down there, and I've just started the prune process. But what I'm doing is leading it up to the metal, and then I'll start attaching it to the actual fencing. I just came through here the other day. Always the life, right? We're starting to get our first flowers on. We've got everything from cherries to like paste size Napolis. I've got a few determinants this year with the Napolis and the old Homestead, which is a semi-determinant, and Amish paste. But then I also have a lot of indeterminants. This is where I ran out of the fencing. So I have 4 random tomatoes because I wanted to hit 44. I really wanted to hit 45, but spacing. So I'm going to attempt my Florida weave here again. I have never successfully done Florida weave because it gets out of control, but also I've always tried to do all the tomatoes on Florida weave, so maybe just handling the 4 will be a little bit more manageable for me. So we will see. So going through here, yeah, you can see where the flood hit last night. My poor babies, they'll survive. They're strong. I learned you can't fill the pool too much when it's a cheap pool, because then you'll have a waterfall effect. So, put this back where she belongs. There we go. Sorry about that. It works. Good enough. It's basically to keep the grass out of the garden. But yeah, so I'm ready for my tomato walls because they will get up there. 2 months from now, they will be full on this cage and putting a lot of weight on. So I've used some of my U posts, the cheaper ones at the top, to help stabilize a little bit. I need to do more across the top, But it's really just going through what I have in inventory, which isn't much at this point because I'm repurposing a lot, and getting a lot of cardboard donated to kill off grass. I'm waiting for another chip drop so I can actually get to all this. So it's going. But yeah, here she is. We will do a greenhouse tour at one point, but she needs to be cleaned really bad. Not too shabby for year 2 by myself. So this is the garden. Garden cat and all. May tour. I am definitely excited about this growing season. This is the year where hopefully by the end of the year, one of my big gardening goals is to actually show you investment to put it in. And then I'm going to do a cost comparative of every account of lettuce, herbs used in cooking. Like right now, just example, I've harvested 3 heads of lettuce. One seed pack for that cost me $2 because I buy my seeds through My Gardener most of the time. I have a few other sources I use, but his was specifically what I ate. So with that $2 investment in a seed pack that has 1,000 seeds in it, 3 of those seeds became heads of lettuce that went into my garden. So fractions on the penny, pretty much. And that same head of lettuce, if it were naturally locally grown or even organically grown, even though I'm not certified organic, I am growing the best organic natural practices I can. With that being said, those would be in my location $4 to $5 for 1 head of lettuce. So if you imagine, just let's go $4. I've already saved, well, it would have cost me $12 minus the $2 for the seed packet. $10 saved. I used chives in my cooking the other day. I've had those chives since the old farm and I just transplanted them over. So strawberries, we'll get there. I did go to a U-Pick, so I spent a lot of money, but I'm supporting local business. So my strawberries aren't to that point yet. But gardening is important. Gardening will help break cycles. Gardening will give you independence. Garden will give you a bit better mental health and clarity. She doesn't get to come outside because she likes to try and jump the fence. But grow, try, be okay with failure, because we're all learning together. We're all connecting with each other. Let's connect on the next level. So I will see you guys next time. It'll probably be in June. I just think I'm going to do gardening tours this year as I continue to develop, but I hope to get back to doing more regular videos soon. So just remember, guys, to go outside and get your hands dirty. Love you.